I'm from the
Same place as trap music, this that first react music. They can't hold me back, I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch.
Welcome everybody back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live, where we define, examine, and analyze words, sayings, and phrases used in American culture. And tonight we will be smoking on wealth. So grab your thinking caps and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds, myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God Ali Dawood L at BK Farm, and we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God. How you feeling on this beautiful Sunday evening?
Peace, God. You know, it's interesting because we talking about wealth tonight, and I'm feeling abundant. Yo, my bunnies had babies, son.
I saw it. Y'all gotta follow the God on IG, on all the social media. Y'all just gotta look up BK Soul Farm. And y'all gotta go watch it because I saw that, God. I seen that.
Yo, son, like that made me feel so good, right? Because you know, everybody think like you know the stereotype or the saying is, you know, to screw like bunnies or whatever, or make like bunnies. And that's true that they do and can get out of control. But when you are keeping them with purpose and with an intent, right? And you are actually trying to produce a thing, right? Like you really gotta make sure that everything is the way that it needs to be, right? Like your husbandry game gotta be like on point, right? Like everything gotta be comfortable, right? It gotta be clean, it gotta be dry, right? Like everything it gotta be breezy, right? You gotta have enough airflow, right? And like I don't know, man. Like, gotta be safe. You know, I lost it to my dogs a couple times. I lost it to a couple raccoons. Like these things are tough, bro. Like if your stuff is not all the way everything, then the world will get you. But if you just keep on keeping on and just like really just be sincere, and like really want the thing that you say you want, man, your babies will produce, God. Like.
Absolutely.
Like it's fire. What you got going on?
You know, always thankful for another day, get some breath, you know, see a new sunshine always. And I get into a little bit more of it later, but we are celebrating because you know, we had family situations, medical things going on, and you know, we just you know, the universe is blessing us. The universe is definitely keeping us in favor. And you know, I'm just super thankful for that, you know, and just making sure that I can pay it forward and do the things that I'm necessary, paying attention to the things I need to do. Like you was talking about, like when you say that the dogs got it, when you know, when the raccoons got it, it's like those the learning lessons, like what we need to do to make sure that we got it. Because the weapons are formed against us, you know.
What? Yo, son.
The weapons are formed against us, and they definitely will prosper if we let our guard down. So we got to stay godly, you know. We got to stay godly for real. So
that's all facts,
you know. But definitely, God. Before we jump into tonight's show, y'all, real quick, man, like the guy was just saying, head on over to www.bksoulfarm.com and pick up this fantastic piece of literature by this brother right here, 1016 160 Self-Sustainability, the guy Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. Link is in the description. You need to go get that, y'all. For real. It's so much going on in the world right now with with just a shortage of fertilizers, you know, in the implications of like what's going on with y'all see with Trump and her moves, and we're gonna get into all that a little bit later on in the show when we do our flavor bombs. But you know, it's like you need to have this book is a tool and a resource that, like, if it does get to that point, you will wish you had it. Okay, you will wish you had that. You will wish you had read a few pages, because you're gonna be like, what do I do? What do I do? Where do I start? And you might be trying to take something from somebody and you might die because you're that desperate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you can do something now and be preventative, so that way if it gets there, you already prepared, you know. And we're gonna talk about that with what we smoking on tonight. That's wealth. So and also don't forget, y'all, to subscribe to DB Chef TV and enter your name in the hat to win $100. Okay, each and every third Sunday of the month, we are announcing our winner, and tonight we got a winner, y'all. We got a winner. Last Sunday, like we was talking about, we had a whole lot going on in life. Life be lifing. So we didn't announce it then, but we want to go ahead and give a drum roll for the month of April's winner.
Oh.
Shout out to Bubbling Brown, who is our subscriber. You know, they be in the chat. They be in the chat sometimes on Cigar Sundays. They be in the chat with Bows on the Table. I done seen them in the chat with brunch with the fellas. You know, they really be contributing to the network, supporting what we do here. So we love you, Bubbling Brown. Thank you. You got to get in contact with us. Send your Cash App information to Chef Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and we're gonna get you paid. And thank you for supporting us. And we doing this for everybody that supports us and supports our content and what we do here at DBCHEFTV. And like we always say, y'all, if money's tight, we got merch and everything. You know, we got BK Soul Farm merch, we got DBCHEFTV merch. Links are in the description. And like we always say, if money's tight, it's all right. We're going to still love you if you just go ahead and smash that like button. It's the freest thing you can do to support us, help us get this content in front of beautiful people like you and up in the algorithm. So moving right along, we smoking on wealth tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get to our questions, y'all. First question, what do you think of when you hear the word wealth? Second, is wealth purely financial, or does it include things like health, peace, and relationships? Third, what are some common misconceptions about wealth? Question 4, how and what can younger generations learn from older generations about wealth? And then last but never least, our fifth and final question is the word wealth bad, good, or misunderstood? So to let y'all know how this goes, if it's your first time rocking with us, what we do is we answer our first question, and then we go to various sources. We do an AI search. You know, everybody learns off AI now, Chat GPT and all these different things. We got a crazy story about that with the then we go to the dictionary as what it was defined as, the educational standard of what it was supposed to be taught, if we studied it, if it was even word that was given to us to be able to study, you know. And then we try to go to Wikipedia, which is an open source where, you know, people just add things and their whole ideas or meanings with I would say Wikipedia is where meanings collide with definition. You know, if I had to sum up Wikipedia, yeah, that's what Wikipedia is, where meanings collide with definition. You know,
Super colloquial,
right? Super, yeah, it's common, everyday common people type
exactly.
going on, right? So, so yeah, so we're gonna get into our first question, and we always encourage y'all to let us know what you think, either in the live chat if you're rocking with us, or in the comments section below, depending on when you're watching the show. Our first question: what do you think of when you hear the word wealth? And we're gonna go to the God Ali Dawood El, that BK Soul Farm.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
So the first thing I think of when I hear wealth, more money, more money,
More
more
money,
money.
more money. I know that's right.
Right. But not just money though, right? It's 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 abundance personified is what I really think about, right? When you have everything that you need, or have the ability to obtain everything that you need, because you have the resources to exchange, right? Either goods or services, or with some kind of currency. Um, I think that yo, you frozen? That shit messing me up. Oh, there you go.
You say I might, nah, keep on rocking, guy. I'm back here working the technical stuff on the backside, on the in the, in the back of the house. Go ahead, guys,
This
you
is
got it.
OBL. All right. Um, but abundance personified. Um, you said earlier about the book. It's not just even a cheap promo, but it's important to get the book because we are in those times now, right? The reality is, for any fruit tree, like real talk, if you want to talk about if it's real or not, you're talking between 3 to 5 years of growth, uh,
Right.
before you get production. So what I'm saying, that's now. Put that thing in a pot today,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because it's gonna be a while before you get to eat off of it.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah,
don't wait till the sky falls and talk about, yo, I need to go grow my own food, or I need some chickens, or I need fish or rabbits or whatever. Like, nah, it's way too late. Like, the sky is falling, right? Um, so abundance personified is also like a culture that's passed down. Like, it's not just something that you can have as an individual, right? Or even as a husband and wife, or partner, however you do that. Scenario, right? It's something that is a mindset of maintaining this wealth or this status or these resources, so that we can constantly and always be able to sustain ourselves, right? Through our efforts, through the labors of an ancestor, right? That they labored. Um, we are gonna endeavor to keep their mission alive, because it benefits us in real time to do so, right? So that's what I think. I think it's more money, more money, more money. I think it's abundance personified, and a mindset that is passed down by way of a culture, right? Even I ain't saying like we all religious and nothing like that, but even if it's the religious of keeping money out, or keeping businesses or whatever, however that go, it's a whole thing that everybody know. Like, no matter what we do, we got to keep doing this and pass it down to our children. No matter what we do, we got to keep doing this, pass it down to our children, right? And keep looking forward to the future and modernize, right? Because we can't be stuck. Like, because you just can't get one fruit tree and just plant it and think you're going to be able to eat forever, right? Because things grow in seasons. Firstly, right? They only can produce as many branches and leaves that you have to provide nourishment, right? So you're limited all over the place. At the same time, you're abundant, right? Because you do have plenty of fruit. But if you plant more fruit trees, you just secure your abundance more. If you start planting more vegetables, more roots, like you just sustain yourself, right? And you just spread yourself out to where you got multiple options and more things to lean on and fall back on and secure yourself so that your foundation is super duper secure, right? Because that's the name of the game, right? To have a steady foundation. Because with that, man, you can do everything. Food, clothing, shelter, protection of that is way more than just the basics. It's the beginning of wealth, right? It's the foundation, right? The mindset to keep our feet cemented, to keep
bootstraps, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Like
bootstraps.
That's what I said before, right? Like you got a little house on the prairie where you actually build your house and we gonna build what we need. You know, compared to the MTV cribs where we gonna rent the biggest house on the block so we look good and we gonna keep it for as long as we can keep it for. And we gonna keep putting something on our bills and not pay everything because we just wanna you know what I'm saying? So yeah, God, that's what I got, man. That's what I got on wealth.
No doubt, no doubt. We are answering y'all. If y'all just joined us, make sure to smash that like button. What I mean, you know, what do you think of when you hear the word wealth? And man, money.
Hell yeah.
You know, money. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the first thing, you know, is are you wealthy or are you not? You know, and I would start with like the first inception of what wealth was. So like learning. So at a particular time in my life, I was struggling with finances, and I realized like it was just me, and you know, like it wasn't anything else. Especially when I looked at all of the other things that were like, you know, okay, well, how much do I make? You know, so let me look at all of these national averages and these comparisons of, you know, as a black man, you're supposed to be making this amount of money, and you know, like let me look at all the categories of of allegory, you know. You know, so I'm like, let me look at this and then see where I fit in this whole mix of things, and all the stereotypes and all the stigmas and all of this and all of that. And I realized what I was doing. I was just like, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm focusing more on what other people think versus me being secure and having my food, clothing, and shelter, my survival things necessary, my necessary things more abundant than the things that other people see, you know. And once I realized that's what I was doing, once I looked at myself and said, okay, yeah, I like to be fly, you know what I'm saying? But do I like to be fly at the cost of my necessities lacking? You know? So what am I going to do? Am I going to focus more on my necessities being maintained or elevated, where I could say, you know, well, I have more house or land than I really need as just an individual, you know, but But or do I say I got all the Jordans that ever came out? Right? So which one is more important to me? You know?
Good question to you.
Yeah, which one is more important to me? You know? And that's when I had to figure out, like, what wealth looked like for me. What did I value, as far as, and then also the contrast comparison of what is wealth. What do I hear, rich white people talking about, rich Latin people talking about, rich black folks talking about, rich people with a whole lot of money and a whole lot of stuff that makes them money, versus the people who just look like they got some money, but they struggling for real, you know? And I realized that I was a look like I had something struggler. And once I got off a look like I had something struggler, I started having something that now is just like, now your wants are your balance, is it's a balance, because you can go get what you want, but then it's like you don't even want it, and that made a difference. It more became value in even the things like you was talking about, like having the ability to be able to produce your own food, like having a place where you can produce your own food, and you don't have to worry about putting yourself in a situation where somebody says, oh no, you can't do that, or you have to move, or I'm going to charge you more money, and then that charges you more money goes into your sustainability plan. So how do you position yourself for these things? Because that's still a part of the process. Like, property taxes go up, insurance goes up, so like you still gonna get hit. It's rigged anyway, right? So you still gonna get hit, but how do you put yourself in a position where you say, okay, these things I can maneuver with, because I can make some money off these things. I can elevate off these things. These other stuff, I may not be able to sell and resell these shoes that I got 1,000 pair of shoes. I may not be able to resell those. I may have some old clothes. I may not be able to resell those. A vehicle depreciates soon as it's not really an asset. Like, I don't care. I don't even care how classic the car is. Like, it has to be like so old and so rare that that's the only way. And that's still an intrinsic value that other people will give it. But is it something that you can take in any type of weather and go and make some paper, and elevate yourself to take that and put it somewhere else? And that's where, like, I understand the correlation when you're talking about like the rabbits, the chickens, the ducks, the vegetation, like all that stuff is the vegetation. Look, I made a new word. The vegetation, you know, you know what I'm saying? The vegetation, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like all of them things is like, man, I could take that and go sell this. So if I need something else, I could take, like it's producing for me, and I can take this and go make some more off of this. Even recycling those things, even if it's not, I take it and go sell it, then I can learn it and I can have it to be able to sustain myself, and make sure that the people that I love and I need to feed and I'm responsible for, that I'm holding down, we okay.
All facts.
So so like when I think of the wealth, it first came as money, just what type of money you got, and all of those things, and how much money you got, how many problems you got, a lot. How many people done left you out the rat, a lot. So it's like, yeah, you think of that first, but then there is also, it's like, okay, well, okay, so what are you doing about it? And that's where the other side of the coin comes. It's like that's the introduction to it. But then like, okay, now what did you do with that information? So, that's what I think of when it comes to the wealth, is like that word you use, that foundation, that being able to um, have your necessities met, in an easy situation or difficult situation, but you're prepared,
Ooh.
and and I know that may be a philosophical version of it, or maybe even a spiritual version of it, but nonetheless, you feel, and I don't know if the definition correlates to what we talking about at all, but we're gonna learn that, but it feels like it feels good, and it is good at that particular moment. It's not just wrapped up in a feeling, it's not just wrapped up in an emotion. It is, you can actually see it, it's tangible, it's right there in front of you, and you have access to it. So if you can go and navigate, and you have these tools, and you have this resource, then it's like, it's not fake. It's not something I think in my head, or something I'm sitting there imagining waiting to fall out the sky, or some foolishness. I actually can make these moves, I can maneuver, I can function, I can access, because that's what that's what it's really about. Like, I don't think anybody doesn't want access to being able to do the things that they enjoy, or maintain their level of comfort, or elevate their level of comfort. So that's what I think of, when I hear the word wealth. But let us know what y'all think of when you hear the word wealth. And we always respond to it. We always respond to it. So let us know. We got some folks in the chat. What up, cuz? We got cuz pulling up. Lovely ATV. What up, bud? See you in the building. So let's go ahead and bring up the definition for wealth. So we got wealth, y'all. We got wealth. We got wealth. And wealth is a noun. And our first definition is, it gives us an abundance of valuable material possessions or resources. Abundance of valuable material possessions or resources. Okay. 2, abundant supply. And it's listed as profusion. We need a profusion. We need profusion. That's what we need. Profusion and abundant supply. Okay. 3A, all property that has a money value or an exchangeable value. And that's what the guy was talking about. That's what I was talking about, where I can go and make some moves. A lot of times, we'll get back to it though. Let's go through the definition first. We'll get back to it though, because that right there, is causing a lot of young people to go down the wrong path. So we got B, all material objects that have an economic utility. Okay, and then it says, especially the stock of useful goods having economic value and an existence at any one time. National wealth. And then we have, what's obsolete, is will or welfare. Welfare is no longer considered wealth, y'all. But maybe to some it is. Especially how we seen when they was going to cut it off. Everybody was talking about all the wild stuff they was going to do to hopefully get them to turn it back on.
It was talking kind of crazy.
They was talking real greasy. Everybody got greasy. But yeah, so that's wealth right there. And let's go ahead on over to the thesaurus to see how wealth is given to us in the synonym form. So it's given to us as in assets, as in loads, and also as in abundance. So when we see as in assets, we see the total of one's money and property. Okay. So we have assets, capital, fortune, money, riches, funds, things, worth, possessions, prosperity. Ain't that what the God always say? Peace and prosperity, right?
Yeah.
Prosperity, holdings, resources, savings, opulence, success, means, substance, finances, property, effects, abundance, affluence, wherewithal, belongings, in your wallet. What's in your wallet? Chattels, treasure, acquisition, paraphernalia. Dang. That's got a whole different definition in the criminal in the Black's Law Dictionary. You know,
chattel kind of called me off guard.
Even chattel, right?
Kind of called me off guard.
Like what? Well, not really. If
I know that's why
not really though, not really though. You know, we kind of nerds. We kind of we understand what chattel can be has been used in different sentences. So there is a wealth in that if you are expending that chattel, right?
Which and if there's a definition or a thesaurus word for it, it just goes to further second them not doing reparations.
And there you go, because right there you go. And you took it. Yeah. Why you gotta be so smart? Why you smart guy? Why you gotta be so smart? Oh man. Exactly, God. Exactly, God.
Oh man.
Yeah, because they sold out ancestors. I'm gonna go ahead and double down. They sold out people, right?
Man.
Chattel, right? They sold out people. So that was wealth at a time to own slaves, right?
Oh man. So they literally would have to oh man, yeah, they never ever gonna apologize, guys.
Never.
I mean, they already said they're not.
They already said they're not gonna apologize.
But now that I see this in here, like I'm already knowing.
Assets. It was slaves. It was assets. Chattel.
That's a lot.
I know. I don't. Man,
that's a lot, guys.
Let's finish the show because that is just every time I hear it, just, it just, you know, it just. Every time I think about it, it's just like we're gonna get back to it tonight, though. Trust me, we're gonna get back to it because we got a flavor bomb that's gonna bring us right back to this chattel stuff. Treasure, acquisition, paraphernalia, treasury, personal property, bankroll. Shout out my little cuz, big bankroll. Vulnerables, personality, accession, deep pockets, a nest egg, and reserve. Okay, so then we're gonna go to as in loads, a considerable amount. Loads. He got loads of money.
Yeah, I want loads of money. Plenty of money's cool, but loads of money.
But don't it sound better? That means like it just keep coming in. Bring them loads. Just keep
put it around back. Put
that round back. Put them on the corner over there. Put them. You know what you can do with that? You know what? Y'all just take a little bit of that because we got too much already.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, man.
We gonna put that in the pool house. Okay, go and do that. Got loads. Yep.
Got
plenty. A ton. Abundance. A slew. dozen quantity. Dozen is 12 though. That ain't a whole lot. And I guess unless it's trillion, you know what I'm saying, or quadrillion, then I guess that's a whole.
They're talking about the zeros.
Yeah, that's a whole lot. Then you're talking about 12 zeros. I don't even know what 12 zeros is. Yeah, I'm thinking too much. Thinking too hard. Hurt my head. A chump. You know, we used to say that back in the day. Man, I need a whole chump. Man.
Hell yeah.
A deal, a bunch, a pile, raft. Well, that'll save your life.
Yeah.
A bundle, stack bundles, a stack.
Stack, yeah.
Marad, 100. You know, we love them blue faces. Gobs.
Hell yeah.
A heap. Plentitude. I ain't heard, this is heard words you hear in the church. There was a plentitude of bread and wine, so ain't nobody have to fight. Because Jesus was just giving it away. He made it. He made a plentitude of bread, one grape and one loaf. He just, voila. All kinds of people was getting fed. Profusion, mountain, a boatload, volume, multiplicity, mass, truckload, reams, bucket, quite a bit, good deal, a fistful of dollars. Much, oodles, yard, store, pot, shipload, pack, sheaf, scads, thousands, bushel, carload, sight, plenitude, basket full, lashings.
Chiefly British.
It's chiefly British. Chiefly British. You don't say the R. You guys.
Yeah.
British. British. Oh no. I heard somebody say that shit on some movies and stuff I watch. I like it. Like the Pinky Blinders. That's my thing. I love it. Just because they a family that stuck together through like no matter what. I love the Pinky Blinders for that, because you know it's just like they was in the trenches and they came out the trenches and they were still rocking with each other, and you know, a mess.
Heard of that? You said the Pinky Blinders?
Pinky Blinders, God. Like watch episode 1, go back to the beginning and then watch the movie. Don't watch the movie first, because that's like when he had the little degenerate bastard child and he started doing some little messed up stuff that dad had to come back in and come out of retirement. You know, he was a gangster that got to retire for real. And you know, but y'all go watch that, man. Pinky Blinders, I love it. You know, they had the little the razor blades. They kept the razor blades on their brim.
Oh, this says based off a true story.
Yeah, them boys from Birmingham, England. You know, and
okay.
Yeah, they kept the little razor blades and they little Kangos. It wasn't a Kango, but it was like a little hat that looked like a Kango, you know. And they, you know, they was nice with the hands too, though. You know what I'm saying? So I like that, and they'll cut you. So you know, back in my day, when I was, yeah, they'll cut you too. So you know, I'm digging all that. We not above it. You know, on the right day, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time we like to be peaceful, positive, and productive. But, you know, if I'm on my don't push me because I'm close to the edge, you know what I'm saying? Then
man, it's your fault.
Yeah, we might go Pinky Blinders on you. But we got a mess, we got a wide, we got barrel, peck, spate, plateful, potful, surplus, pastel, score, flood, excess, multitude. So like I'm not about to go through all these words as in loads, because it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. But you know, y'all rocking with us, y'all see it. Wealth is a lot as in loads. Okay. So we can so what it's basically doing is what it's showing is,
look at that,
is that now we can see, with the picture starting to be painted clearer about why we can see how wealth gets so many different meanings and so many different translations of what people identify as wealth, because it has so many different synonyms that correlate to it, you know, that people don't stick to just one thing. Like hello is hello, right? Like you just can't go like you either saying hi or you're not. And this isn't that. This gives such, it opens up so many things: host, crowd, bevy, swarm, million, mob. You know, like how do you even interpret what the mob has to do with wealth? Looking at, looking at what mob does and how it's how it's scrutinized and how it's persecuted in law and treated in the rule of law. And if you're looking at a mob of people and all the negative connotations, so to even see it in something like this, it is honest to see, like, because it's new for us. It's honest as, to see like how people will have meanings to these things and how it would just draw these different mindsets, because it's just not one perfect thing. So let's go to abundance. Abundance, an amount or supply more than sufficient to meet one's needs. An amount or supply more than sufficient to meet one's needs. And we have abundance, plenty, plenitude, plethora, superabundance, embarrassment of riches. I never heard of that right there.
You got so much. You're ashamed of that shit, son.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anybody.
Wow.
I don't think this concept applies in America.
Yo, click it, see what it means.
An embarrassment of riches. Okay, so that is the thesaurus. So let's go to the definition. A very large number of things from which to choose. Embarrassment of riches.
With so many fine restaurants in the city, diners are faced with an embarrassment of riches.
And this right here is like, so if I got 10 houses, 50 cars,
where you want to stay at, babe? Like,
that's an embarrassment of riches. Who made this?
Oh man,
that's horrible though, because
this said, just if you just got a bunch of if you got a bunch of choices, that's an embarrassment of riches. Yeah,
a very large number of things from which to choose. So this is crazy that we are programmed to want more, to desire more. We are fed through music, media, entertainment, social media, abundance in American culture, right? And to have a house here, to have a house there, to have this Bentley, that Rolls Royce, this Lamborghini, this Ferrari, this dude, you know what I'm saying? This, all this other stuff. But then there's actually a name, a term called embarrassment of riches, which means a very large number of things from which to choose, which is so simple. Because you worked hard and you said, I can afford this. You learned
a whole paycheck.
Yeah, like you learned the difference between obtain and maintain, right? So you may be a person that says, you know what? I know the difference between obtain and maintain. I can get a loan for something and I can make a payment, but if it break, is it going to cost me my rent money to fix it? Do I got to dip into my rent money to fix? Do I got to dip into some money that is prioritized for my necessity to fix this thing that I want? All right. Now, if I have to do that, then I don't understand obtain versus maintain and afford. But when you have people who do understand that, all right, then having a very large number of things from which to choose should not be an embarrassment of riches, because you actually can afford the stuff that you consume. That's crazy, but all this is tied up in the wealth. All this is tied up in the wealth. An embarrassment of riches is even tied up in the wealth. That's ridiculous.
Got a bunch of choices. Hell yeah.
That's crazy. In abundance. You got a feast. You got cornucopia, competence, surplus, plenitude, competency, richness, adequacy, sufficiency, self-sufficiency, God. Right there. It's in there. Wealth. I ain't even gonna read that word. Opulence, fertility, excess, amplitude, surfeit, overdose. Nah, it's liberality.
Yeah.
Fun. What is that?
Fun sedity.
Yeah, you got to help me with that one, God. I don't know that one right there.
Fecundity.
Vicinity. I don't know. Fruitfulness, though. We hear that one in church all the time. Be fruitful.
Be fruitful.
We love that.
Yeah.
Overflow, oversupply. The superfluities. Wow. Superfluities is wealth. I'm confused now.
Abundance.
I'm confused. My vices and superfluities, guy. I'm confused. I'm confused right now. Luxuriance, copiousness, lavishness, overkill, superfluousness, redundancy, and ampleness. You know, because I thought wealth.
Yeah. You gotta break up the superfluity so you can get back to the basics, right? Get back to yourself.
Maybe that's who you are. Maybe that's who you are, guy. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? After dealing with some of the people we done dealt with, I'm thinking, I don't know.
That's all facts.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just
all facts
dealing with real people in real life and just trying to understand these words, and I don't know, so we're gonna go ahead over to the Google definition, y'all, and share that what wealth is. Google says wealth is the abundance of valuable material possessions, resources, or funds defined economically as the total value of assets owned, real estate, stocks, cash, minus any liabilities. Okay, and that the liabilities is what you owe. That's the minus. Okay. It represents an accumulated financial security, and in a broader sense can refer to a profusion of non-monetary assets such as health, knowledge, or, for example, a wealth of experience. Okay.
I like how they put health in them.
Yeah, because we do hear the clichéic saying that health is wealth, right? That's something that's a cliche out here that people use, a saying, that health is wealth in American culture. So the fact that the AI overview says, hey, gotta have some health in there too if you want to be wealthy. You gotta have some knowledge too. You can't be a dummy. Like Fred G. Sanford used to call Lamont, you big dummy. So you got to have some knowledge too. So let's check out Wikipedia real quick too. And Wikipedia says wealth is the abundance of valuable financial assets or physical possessions which can be converted into a form that can be used for transactions. Okay, this includes the core meaning as held in the originating Old English will, which is a form of Indo-European word stem. The modern concept wealth is of significance in all areas of economics, and clearly so for growth economics and developmental economics. Yet the meaning of wealth is context dependent. Okay.
Mm.
The meaning is context dependent.
That's true. The meaning.
The meaning.
The definition is different, but the meaning is.
With the meaning is context dependent. Yes, indeed. And that's why we had these conversations, God, because you know this already. I'm just saying it for the viewers that's be rocking with us. You know, everybody has meanings that they put to stuff because we don't take the time to study the definitions of these things. You know, because life be life and everybody be having to take care of what they got going right then and there. But that's why we appreciate y'all for rocking out with us each and every Sunday night right here, Cigar Sundays live, because we trying to figure this stuff out too, because we be having life going too. We be having stuff going on where we forget things and got to do stuff and all that type of stuff, you know. Where we trying to get our wealth too. We trying to get our abundance of valuable material possessions and resources too, because clearly ain't no reparations coming at all for us, you know, because I could have swore that when Hitler was doing what he was doing to the Jewish people, that was law too. Okay. I could have swore that was law too. All right. So that ain't nothing against the Jewish people. That I'm just saying that's something against the people saying that it was law. That okay, so and they got paid, so why can't the black folks get paid? Because that was law too, right? So they even had to wear stars and everything. I mean, we got.
So you know what's crazy, God? I'm listening to you talk right now. Right.
I'm just saying, guys.
Nah, like because it
was saying, guys.
Because before, like whenever I even thought about reparations, it always had to deal with some form of morality and an apology and a starting over, starting from a zero. But now with what they talking about, like it's all just like cut the check, motherfucker. Like it's like you really not gonna say sorry. You really not gonna pay. And you're not gonna pay me. Like it's
not gonna do this thing,
like,
do nothing. And you better not ask.
And you better not even ask. Like, so it's all about the motherfucking money right now. Like it's like that's all you can really think about because they already said they're not apologizing. Like for what?
What Tip say? If it ain't about the money, don't be calling my phone. I'm talking about the money. Yeah. Real facts, God. Like that is I can't believe I'm gonna say something later on. I'm just saving it. I'm gonna say something later on because I am, you know, I am traumatized. I'm hurt. You know, like I remember Nana V doing all of the everything that she has done, you know, to ensure the Sankofa, you know, to ensure that we even know what that is, you know, to even know what, you know, understanding what a middle passage was and all these different things. Like I would not know these things if it was not for my mother, you know? So the fact that every single February we had to deal with this stuff, we had to, you know, relive it. And the baby still got to relive it every single and they the only ones that the Hispanic child, the Latino child does not have to feel bad when they on February they leave and they say, oh, they was owned by the white people. The white child gets in the car and says, why you ain't tell me that we own, that grandma and granddaddy own black folks? The Asian child says the same thing the Latino child says, the Latin child says, and so does the East Indian child, you know, that white people own. What you learn today? Or we learned that white folks owned some black people and they were slaves and they gave them everything. So black kids, the only ones that still got to get traumatized by this every single February, and they talking about we made it legal. It was the law. We made the law, so we can't, of course, be held guilty or nothing or persecuted because of law we made, and we did this, and we not gonna pay them nothing. But yet and still, this ain't a shot to the Jewish folks. It was law when Hitler did it too. And the Jewish people got paid. So I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, man. Like I ain't tripping because I think I envy, not negatively, a lot of things that the Jewish community does. They got their own resources. They work together. And I'm mad that we don't do that. So it's not even a negative envy. It's an envy like, man, I wish we had a Africa town or a little African American town, or we had a Black Wall Street, or we had a, I wish we had these things, man, because then it's like, damn, you don't feel, that Dr. Claude Anderson talk, that Boyce Watkins talk, them brothers be talking about them things that be like, man, we need to put our money together and our resources together. It ain't to go against nobody. It's so we can build each other up. So we can look at each other and not be hating because you got something that I ain't willing to work hard enough to get.
All facts.
And even what's the other brother name that I just been introduced to the past couple years? John Hope. I don't know his whole John Hope Bryant, something like that. All them guys be dropping, all them brothers be dropping jewels, man, trying to get black people to understand that, like, ain't no check coming. If we are the check, we are the chattel.
Yo, God, not only is there no check coming, right? And to your point, not only is there no check coming, we now know why. At least this is what I'm hearing, right?
At least we know why now. At least we know why.
God, like we know why we get the slave stories every February. We get the struggle stories every February. We get the scary stuff. We never get all of our greatness. Like they never tell us. They never tell us. They never modernize us. Right? They keep us on the plantation every February. They never talk about how the things that came from the plantation days is still being utilized today. Like it's always you as a slave, and then they give us Juneteenth where they get to celebrate catching 2 more years of free labor.
Right. Catching 2, because Juneteenth was Texas, and then Missouri was still a few more years later than before they released. It's like, come on, family.
Come on, son. Like so,
and nobody's mad. Nobody's mad, God. Nobody's mad about it. Yeah. Nobody's mad. I'm talking about. So
they're gonna keep giving us the slave, bro. They're gonna keep giving us 12 years of slave. Keep giving us. They're gonna snatch it. They're gonna keep giving you the Django's and the who like constantly. Who's that nigga on that net? Like constantly, black on black promotion of negativity, right? And just totally just ignore all the greatness that happens in between all the negativity.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy. It's like everybody's waiting for the next, reason to riot, or reason to burn the community down, or reason to protest, or even go vote. I'm just like, how? We talking about wealth tonight, y'all. But I'm just saying, like, it's just, it's just one of them things where it's like, man, like I can't even see where, like, you're gonna tell me go vote. I can't even see it with, like, you're gonna tell me go vote for what? when America just said, so what am I voting for? What change am I voting for? What effect? So you talking about my decisions and my choices that I got to make already based on what I got to navigate around the laws and the structures and everything, on the stuff that I have to be aware about. I'm voting for that because what is that going to change? What is that going to do when our people are already not going to get anything that's going to help us repair? Nothing. So what I have to do is I just got to be paying attention to all the stuff that's moving, to all the moving pieces that's already moving around on the board. That's it. I don't need to go voting. I don't need to go participate in none of that because it ain't going to benefit me no way. It ain't for me. When you understand selections and you understand that campaign contributions and super PACs and all these things, I need to get my money up. We need to get our money up and we need to pool our resources so we can buy a politician and get them in there to be able to owe us a favor. And that's what it's about in America.
That's the only way to play politics, really.
That's it. All that other, man, you need to go vote and you don't go vote. Man, miss me with that bullshit. I ain't never voted in my whole life, and all of and it has never affected me. Not voting has never affected me figuring out my finances, figuring out the quality of life that I need to have, figuring out my level of self-sustainability. None of that. Voting ain't did none of that for me. Nothing. So and I don't, and one of the things is I don't come from the generation like my mother came from having to go to the back door, having to possibly be at the back of the bus. So I understand why they would want to go vote, because they was told they couldn't do it. So I get that. I get when you told you can't do something, and the way it played out, the civil rights movement and all that stuff. I understand all that. It was a fight to go do it. And you had good leadership during that time too. You had Martin Luther King, you had Malcolm X, you had people that was out there leading, that was willing to put their life on the line, and they died for it.
Yep.
They literally died for it. So when you see that, it's like, okay, I got hip hop. Ain't nobody willing to die for nothing for us. That's the generation I came through. Ain't nobody dying for nothing for us. You still got older cats who done been in jail 30, 40 years coming out talking about they gangsters and they tough guys and stealing this and that, but then don't do this, but then don't do, then you got all these different street codes and all this other different stuff where, you from the hood, but you ain't from the hood, but you lived in the hood, but you ain't from the hood because you never put in no work and you never was outside and really doing this and all. All this dumb shit that's just like, bruh.
Let that go.
Like, bruh, like at the end of the day, it don't matter if that brother is involved in crime or you the one involved in crime or not. If y'all walking down that same block, both of y'all still is a target.
Big facts.
Both of y'all still a target. What are we talking about? What are we trying to, and it ain't no wealth in that. Promoting something that's gonna have you not being able to celebrate your children's birthdays, not be there for recitals, not be there for. It's already people that's in the military that's sacrificing their time away to provide for their families, that's missing stuff like that. Because they want them to have a better life. Man, I'm gonna get off my soapbox, man, because I'm just saying, God, like it just for real, like it just, like that. I'm telling you, like I'm it's tough. I've been going through a whole lot, you know, just life been lifing, but that just really hurt my feelings. Like it just really hurt my feelings when I heard that, you know, like I was mad that I be watching so much geopolitical stuff that I actually saw that. Cause I was like, man, if I was just oblivious watching rap stuff and all this foolishness and all this other stuff, like I never would have saw that, you know. I'd be one of these people out here that just don't even know that the United States just told the whole world black people ain't never getting no reparations. They better not ever ask again. It was legal because we made it legal. So forget about
it. Period.
Through the whole slavery history, through the whole civil rights movement, through Jim Crow, through redlining, through Willie Lynch, through all this stuff. None of that stuff. And people come here and they know it. You know, they'll say it, they'll know, like y'all was just slaves. They'll look down on you. Yep. You know, when you see somebody who has a melanin complexion and they say, oh no, I'm not black. They trying to make the distinction between I ain't one of these niggers here. Okay. I speak a different language. So I ain't that. We got all that to deal with. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, and people hate on you because you trying to win out here. Man, suck a bag of sick ones, man. For real. Like anybody hate. For real. And I hope you catch something and die. For real. So we talking about wealth. I wanted to get back real quick before we move to our second question, because we've been chopping it up on all property that has what was it at? All property that has money value or an exchangeable value. Right here, this 3A, all property that has money value or an exchangeable value. This exchangeable valuable thing right here has been getting a lot of young people caught up because they think that selling drugs is a way to survive. This don't get you no wealth or nothing. When they talking about exchangeable value, they talking about the things like we was talking about earlier, God, where like I grow vegetables. Okay. So I can take a little stand and put it in my front yard and say, hey, y'all, I got vegetables for sale, you know, and because I grew it and the sun provided the energy and all I had to do was go out there and maybe rake a little bit around it, prune it a little bit. Okay. I don't have to charge you what the grocery store is charging you. So that has some exchangeable value. If I got some chickens, some rabbits, some cows, some goat, some whatever it is. All right, yeah, I gotta feed my goats. But if I'm doing that in a holistic way where I'm growing the food that I'm feeding the animals and everything was working off itself. It's all one big ecosystem. Okay, they boo-boo is fertilizing the food. The vegetation is feeding them. It's cycling all around. Okay, then I can still take these things and I can go and give some exchangeable value. They have some, because everybody need to eat. All humans need to eat. Okay, but when we talking about, it ain't no you get locked up. I ain't never seen nobody, no young kids standing on the corner selling water get locked up. They're not getting locked up for selling water on the corner. I ain't never seen nobody selling flowers or selling fruit cups on the corner get locked up. But I have seen and know plenty of people that was trying to be Scarface that spent a lot of time away from their family, a lot of time away from their loved ones. And they wish that they had taken that time and that energy and invested into something else different so they wouldn't have lost that time with their loved ones. Because they realized that that was wealth to them. That was wealth that they lost. That was a valuable material possession. Time with your family, time with your daughter, time with your son, time with your baby mama, your wife, your whoever. Because it's material, right? You can't take it with you. You die today, you can't take your baby mama with you, can't take your daughter with you, can't take your son with you, can't take the clothes with you, can't take the time with you. None of that. It's still a material possession. We're not valuing an abundance of our valuable material possessions or resources. Friends, that's real friends, that ain't fake, that ain't on some, oh, I'm cool with you being real, but then when you be too real with me, then I don't want to be your friend no more, because I'm cool with you being real with everybody else, but once you be real with me, then now I don't want to be your friend.
You're supposed to treat everybody else like that, God, not me.
But not me though. You're supposed to be real with everybody else, but don't be real with me. It's still material. It's still something you can't take with you. But is it valuable? Even in those situations, we gotta see when people don't see that being real with them is valuable. Okay, cool. Call me a hole. Call me this. Call me that. I don't care. You know, Eminem made a song. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? I don't know. That's just the way I am. You know, I don't own the copyright to the lyrics. I'm just saying. We trying to have an abundance of valuable material possessions and resources. So that even means when you say, I'm not dealing with certain people no more. When you say I'm not dealing with certain people no more, it ain't because what? You better than them. You're better than you was before when you was dealing with them, because you realize, guess what? This ain't valuable no more. This situation ain't valuable. I don't care how you arrive to it. It's fine. Even if it's people who stop dealing with me because they say dealing with Pearl ain't valuable no more. I don't care.
That's good.
I still respect it. You know what I'm saying? I still respect it, God. You know, because I know one thing, you can't take it. But what you have to take with you though is that thing that's on your spirit, on your conscience of knowing what's truly right from wrong. So you gotta wear that regardless, just like I gotta wear it. We ain't exempt from that. But we can have whatever material possessions and resources that we think are the most valuable. And that's fair, you know, for all people. And I think we need to go ahead and jump into our next question, where is wealth purely financial, or does it include things like health, peace, and relationships? What'd you say, God?
I think it's primarily financial. But it does include all those things, love, peace, and relationships, right? And your health. You know, I think it was what the Google AI that said that added health as part of their wealth definitions or whatever, or wealth meanings. Yeah, nah, like it's you know, like we're saying, right? Like it's not something that you can obtain for yourself alone, right? It got to be something that's transferable or passed downable. That at least historical, right? Like you got to go down to history. Somebody got to be able to follow the pattern that you set. So it got to be more than just the money. because if the currency change, and if all you got is your money in this one exchange, then you're not wealthy no more. If quote unquote another country wins the war, so to speak, right? So you got to be able to match and meet the current environment the same exact way that you are right now, right? So if you got a whole lot of dollars, make sure you also got gold or something universally exchangeable, so that you can maintain the same conditions that you used to. At the same time, you also got to be thinking about your belly too, right? So when you make changes, or even like when you move from like city to city or state to state, or even from country to country, you have to budget groceries. Even if you don't budget it, it's still happening, right? Like you're still eating every single day, and you got to account for that. So, I mean, maybe that's money, but with food, there are things that you can do to mitigate, right? You can grow to cut costs, right? You can do food shares and actually get in programs and actually do things to save. But yeah, like to answer the question directly, I do think it's more than just money. I do think is health and relationships, respect and all that, and everything else that was in the question.
No doubt, God. I'm when we look at it, is wealth purely financial, or does it include things like health, peace, and relationships? I'm under the impression that relationships are so much a part of wealth in today's society, that it's ridiculous, because a lot of people put more emphasis on relationships that you have than how much money you have. When we look at let's say, people may not even have money, but we have a culture where people will have relationships, and where I say, like, people will stand with each other and being wrong.
Yeah.
Because
it's beneficial.
Right? So it's like people will stand with each other being wrong, and they'll figure out, and they'll think that that's well, that's a wealth in a relationship, because I got somebody I can depend on, who will rock out with me, even if I lead them to the fire, or I lead them to the smoke, or the what you call that thing, the Gatling gun. They I don't care. I just run up with them. I'm gonna run up with them no matter what. Now, I have a perspective on that, because I be like, if I love you, I don't care if you wrong. I just want to know you wrong before we get there. So like, that's where I'm at with it, where it's like, give me an option to be able to say, all right, I'm gonna rock with you, even though I know you wrong. Even though I know you wrong, I'm still gonna just rock with you, because I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna crash out with you.
Yeah.
Even though I know you wrong, kind of like on some Pooch Shiesty with his dad type thing. Like his dad knew he was wrong, but he loved him. He loved his son, and he just like, you know what? I'm just gonna crash out with you. I don't agree with it, but I understand why it happened. The way it happened. So I'm thinking that people that's the meanings. Like the way the Wikipedia was saying that there's a meaning towards this thing. Based on the context of what people view wealth as. to that dad in that situation, you know, to Pooh Shiesty's daddy, his father in that situation, he felt as though that was a wealth to him to be there to support his son through that, what we coin over here on Cigar Sundays as ignorance, you know, because there definitely was a way better way of handling that and a more intelligent way. So when we see these things happen like this, we also ask the question of is it just financial? Well, the definition said abundance, right? So we know that everything isn't always an abundance of dollars. Like you said, like you touched on, being able to shore up. That's a whole conversation. That's like understanding the difference between money and currency. You know, so yes, we would say, have you some gold, have you some precious metals, have you some, you know, learn what those things are. But besides a necklace, what, you know, like what else is, or some teeth, right? What else in the Black community concept? You know, what else in the Black community concept is facilitating a narrative that says, like, look at these, to examine these things as a whole, because you fighting against the money sleeve and the money phone versus real knowledge of what currency is and what money is. And it's more things pushing materially the money phone and the money sleeve than the thing that you so eloquently stated of owning some gold and some money, some real money. You know, God. So it's like, how do we get around that? Because we see like we see the OGs, we see the Boyces, the Dr. Claude Andersons, the John Hope. We see them guys, you know, promoting business and entrepreneurship and intellectualism, you know. Is that a word, intellectualisms?
It sounds like a word.
It sounds like a word. We rocking with it. It sounds like a word, right? Intellectualisms, you know, like they promoting that and they pushing that, you know, and saying like, hey, we need this cooperative economics, this, you know, we need this model in order for us to be able to see Black people elevate as a group of people, not just as individuals.
Facts.
You know, but we don't see enough of the coming together of the you know, of the from a family dynamic, or just a brotherly friend dynamic. You know, it's so rare. Like your shirt say, God, like we out here, we just spread apart. But it's like, it's even so hard for, even when we spread apart, for those to be like, okay.
It is, ain't
it? You know, it's hard for those to just be like, okay, you know, like you got your thing, I got my thing.
Yo, it's hard. It's hard to break away from that plantation mind, God. Like it's that. I kind of wish that they would have said they're not going to give us reparations a long time ago, right? Because then we could have got mad and made a plan and did something about it from way back then, right? But now cats, they say it now, and you got folks like, oh man, they was gonna give it to us anyway, and it's like, so what? and you got a bunch of mixed reviews and a bunch of mixed feelings and a bunch of people that don't even want what's owed to them. This is really weird, man. Like this, like they got us in a hell of a trick bag where, like you said, even the ones that spread apart, that know who each other are, it's still hard to be like to say, okay, we gonna be our 100-man and woman team,
right?
Like us, not we are gonna be the ones to start our own 100-man and woman team. No, there's already 100 of us right here, so we are gonna go start whatever it is that we want to go do, because obviously we're 100 of us already committed already. So let's go with whoever's committed and just do great things.
Yeah, let's just, let's just support each other's interests. Let's just do that. You know what I'm saying? Like at the minimal level.
Because we're already here.
At the minimal level, like let's just support each other's interests. Like it don't matter. Like, and it's not about what the other person do all for you. You like let it be genuine. Like we don't even have these things. It's so crazy, God, because I'm learning this, building this, building what we got going on right now. Like it's such a learning experience when you just like, damn, you will, like you will say to somebody like, look, I ain't charging you no money because I don't have no money to pay you. Like I haven't made no money. You haven't made no money, so I wouldn't want you to be trying to, I wouldn't charge you, So like, let's grow together. Let's build let's just, whenever I got it, like if you see me hustling, I'm out there, I got your pack out there too on the block,
Right next to mine.
Right next to mine. So like when you see my pack, your pack right there too. Like, and I don't need no commissions. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just love. Even if your pack sell more than my pack, I ain't even tripping. Like I just want to see we out there. People will know I got your pack at least.
People gonna know I got it. Period. Right? They gonna coming to me because I got that good.
That's
right?
it. That's it. And that's the reason why. That's the reason why one, I had to leave the streets, because that's how the type of hustler that I was. Because I'm like, and I had so many dudes that I had a pack, or I be showing them love, and they be mad because now you moving more they pack than they moving for themselves. I'm like, how you mad at somebody moving your pack more for you, and you can't even, you mad because your man got motion and you ain't got the motion? Like, then you should want to put more work into him. He ain't saying, nah, I don't want no more low. He's saying, man, bring it. I got you. And he gonna give you your number. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, he ain't asking for nothing. He ain't, like, I don't get it. And that's why I just be like, man, people don't realize like how you have to build. Like, at some point in time, that person will see and they rocking with you, so they gonna show love. And you shouldn't be, if you doing it out of love, then it shouldn't be no you expecting to get something. It should be like, man, that person is gonna build. If you helping somebody build, like, then it's building. We building. It don't matter. It's just what I found is a lot of people be trying to use you, and they won't tell you that they just want to use you. And then when you confront them and say,
yep,
if you just want to use me, just say that. Just say you just want to use me. Because at first it was this, now it's this. So am I wrong? Or is this what it is? Because if that's what it is, I just want to hear you say it. Not so I can punch you in the face. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know, so that way we can be on the up and up, so it can be fair. That's it. Because now, if not, you acting like the oppressor. you know. And if you acting like the oppressor, then you know what I'm saying, then I have to treat you as an enemy because that's how you acting. And if I had love for you, I don't want to treat you like that. I want to make sure that it's right. So that right there is what we be talking about with this effective communication. Not being scared to have these conversations, these bold conversations, because guess what? If you a man and you say you a man, but I can go home to my wife who is of the whole emotional feminine diaspora and we can have these conversations, then I'm going to say, which we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be, then you weaker than a woman. But you know what I'm saying? You know, but we shouldn't do that because we talked about that before in 1 hour shows, 1 hour topics where, you know, it's punching down, it's dick. But it's just like, but I mean, but am I lying though? I'm just like, am I lying? Am I really lying on you? Or is you just, you know, a band? Are you banned? A BA? You know what BAN? Are you banned? You just banned. You know, you just banned, man. I ain't messing with you, man. You just banned. You're banned. You know, that's a nice way of putting it. You like that, guy? That's a nice way. You're banned, man. You just banned. You know, like I still got love for. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to harm you or nothing. But you're banned, man. Like I just, you know, like I just, you know, until you show me something different, man, you banned, man. Like because you could tell it to me when you say when we talking about those relationships, when we talking about a wealth of relationship, when I say, man, look, pull me to the side and say, I need to talk to you, man. I don't like blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me that. Like, if we fight, then we fight. You know what I'm saying? If I get it twisted and I get beat up or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, then, hey, like, that's what it was. But listen, it's just like, pull me to the side and give me a chance to be like, damn, that's how you feel though. Like I see you all tough with your chest out and everything. Don't do nothing. Like, damn, my bad. Like, let me apologize. Let me hug you. Let me, you know, put myself back in check. Let me check myself and understand, like, okay, the wealth is in the relationship. This how you felt about something. So let me just explain myself. We work it out, keep it pushing. But if you don't value that at all, then I have to assess it and say it was no value in it from the beginning, because you could just easily get rid of it. You could just easily toss it away like it wasn't nothing. You know, so that's why I look at the, you know, the health, of course, and then peace. I think we get peace through all of that, you know. We know what the health is, but moving on to our third question, y'all. Before we do that, y'all let us know, is wealth purely financial or does it include things like health, peace, and relationships? Y'all let us know how y'all feel about it, what you think about it. Exchange your insights in a live chat or let us know in the comment section below, depending on when you're watching the show, y'all. Moving to our third question. What are some common misconceptions about wealth? What you think, God? Common misconceptions.
That is easy to come by. I think that a common misconception is that you can catch a lick and get wealth. That you don't have to put in a lot of effort. You just need to get lucky. You know, a common misconception that is unobtainable because of the color of my skin.
That is unobtainable, right?
Right. It's unobtainable because our people don't even want it. Right. Like it's like the common misconception is like when people think wealth, it's kind of like when you think about Santa Claus, you think about a fat white man. not even a black one. You know
not even Black Claus.
Nah. When people think about wealth, people think about, you know, Warren Buffett's coming to your minds and all those tycoons and anybody that could be considered a tycoon coming to your mind. Not you.
Not
right?
yourself, right?
You know, I think another misconception, and I don't know, I think really that whole overnight thing, right? Like that you can just do one thing, and that one thing is going to be the thing that's going to take you everywhere, and you don't have to do anything else after you do that one thing. Like to me, I think that might be the biggest one, right? Like everybody think that it's almost like when somebody say, "Oh, I've changed." Right? It's like, all right, you said you've changed. Yeah, you said that yesterday, right? And you meant it yesterday. But that means today you actually have to have changed behavior to actually have changed. Otherwise, you just changed yesterday and you back to the way you was today. Right. So.
Did they really change though? I'm confused. I'm so confused.
They changed back.
They changed back.
Right. So I think that's the biggest one that you can just like once I'm enlightened now, right? And now I'm just gonna start levitating. Not keep my head on the swivel and actually pay attention to my surroundings and actually prepare for winter and actually listen to the news for a heads up and not to champion some terroristic thought process that's gonna just, you know, put down on another fellow human being, right? Possibly your next door neighbor, right? But yeah, that's what I think. I think is people think that it's easy. It doesn't require constant work to maintain. And I think I guess the real biggest one is that because we Black, that it's not possible unless we do some gay stuff or some scrupulous, immoral things to obtain some money.
Mm-hmm.
Not even wealth, but just
not even wealth, just some money. Just some money, just a couple of M's, right?
Not for nothing, right? Because like even when we think about Black people obtaining wealth, you think about Kanye West, rest in power to his moms. A lot of people talked about he sacrificed his moms to obtain his wealth, right? That's a whole. I mean, it's not real, but it's a whole thought process that people think about when it comes to Black people. You had to do something crazy in order to
right, to kill his whole moms, like
you know what I mean? Like not actually make beats or make music or do whatever, right? But he had to go so far, all the way, right? And they got him drinking blood somewhere, and he had to do all this crazy stuff.
Right. So he killed his moms. Look, let's stay on Kanye for 1 second, because I'm feeling Kanye right now. He had to kill his moms for him to get his show banned in Europe because of some stuff he said about the Jewish community.
Right.
Make it make sense. You know. Make it make so what they saying is the Jewish people that made him kill his moms for the money are now mad at him because he done said some bad stuff about them that now he can't even perform and do. Like, man,
That's what I'm
stop
saying,
it.
and it's because
Stop it.
it's because how did he get so much money? Is he black, he from Chicago, you know, college dropout. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, most of the people that are billionaires never went to college. Let's pick some black ones. Jay-Z, Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Gates went, he ain't finished. Steve Jobs, he went, he ain't finished. Zuckerberg, he went, he ain't finished. Like, stop it, man. Like
so that's what I think. But because it's only those thought processes because they black. Like they're not supposed to have that kind of money. So that's what I think. It's the misconception.
Even Puff didn't finish. He didn't graduate from Howard. I don't think there's no graduation pictures of him. He went to Howard, but he didn't graduate from Howard.
Yeah, but look at Puff though, right? Like look how everybody was sitting on the edge of their seats, waiting to hear all the scandalous stuff that he did, entertainment wise, sexually.
Specifically that.
Yeah, right.
What is he doing in his private time with his private parts? And everybody want to know what Puff doing with his private parts. Like, it's so low vibrational. It's sickening.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
It's sickening.
And it's only because of who he is and his complexion. And it's like how that's why I say it's a misconception, right? Because the reality is these people do work hard. Like you can't get wealthy by mistake.
And let me add to that. The guy Ali Dawood the BK Soul Farm. You can't get wealthy as a black person in America without working twice, 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times hard. Okay? You can't. You can't. So, I mean, so we understand, like, when I see that, I will get what I want, the ambition, and like, I understand that's a mode. That's where you have, that's a place where you have to be. I don't misconceptualize that. You're trying to build your business. You're trying to grow. You're trying to get where you're trying to get at. The stuff dude did with his, little head, it got him in a situation. All right. Don't think with your little head. That's the big lesson from watching Puff. Think with his little head. Okay. But to take away from the accomplishments, the adversity, what it took to get there, all of that is just like, come on, man. We acting like we don't live in America, man. We acting like we ain't just see Pooh Shiesty, a product with his own daddy in there, a product of ignorance, just go and ruin his whole life. And he could, and for the summer he would have been popping. I'm talking about doing $250 a show, easy. He probably could even took it overseas and got $500,000 a show. He would have probably been getting bigger tickets than big tickets like Drake. He probably would have been getting Drake numbers for a show. Because the only person who was big as him was NBA Youngboy. So when you talking about, like, right now, who was topping the charts and everything, that's like the Biggie and Pop. That was like NBA Youngboy and Pooh Shiesty was like the Biggie and Pop. So look at all that wealth that he just threw away just from making a horrible choice to keep it gangster, to be a real ninja, to be this thug and all that. Come on, family.
There was an embarrassment of riches and he chose poorly.
You can't even hug your mama right now. You can't even hug your mama right now.
Nope.
That ain't gangster.
And probably not his daddy either.
No, because, they might be on the same block. Cell block, that is. nowhere in Orange Mound or you know what I'm saying, or anywhere in Memphis 10, but you know, or South Memphis or wherever they from, man. Like it's just ridiculous, bro. Like we just gotta do better. But we answering right now, y'all. What are some misconceptions about wealth? Y'all let us know what y'all think are some misconceptions about wealth. Um, in the live chat or in the comment section below, depending on when you're watching the show. And make sure to smash that like button. We appreciate everybody pulling up, rocking with us, smoking on words with two big nerds. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions, God, is something that you touched on, is that people always looking for shortcuts.
Hell yeah.
You know, people always are looking for shortcuts to get to it, thinking that, you know, you don't have to put in the work, you don't have to do the due diligence. And I think that that's the biggest, that's one of the biggest setbacks right now when we see, like, culturally. I don't think that is just limited to the African American community. You know, I see that across the board, that everybody's kind of looking for a quick this or a quick fix, a quick that, a quick, you know, trying to get this quick or trying to get to that quick. And they're realizing, like, you know, that this isn't it. Like, I actually have to learn some things. I have to learn how things work. I have to, you know, actually be educated to be able to pop that ish, you know. So when I see people, when I see like YouTubers and I see the work that they put in, and I see, you know, when they be popping they ish and stuff like that, you know, some people look at it as different, but I look at it and I be like, man, I understand what they did. I understand that they came and they presented their content and they kept going and they kept pushing, and it didn't matter if they had 5 viewers or 5,000 viewers. They was just trying to keep going, be consistent, you know, come with it and deliver. And if you rocking with them, you rocking with them. If you not, you not. Like, and that's it.
Correct.
You know, if it's for you, it's for you. If you like something in the ashtray, pick it up, have a smoke. If you don't, leave something in the ashtray for somebody else who come behind, check it out. You know? So I understood. So once I understood that was the model, you know, I look at it like people don't realize that like you have to take different things from your life um and put it all into a big perspective. I had this conversation with my cousin with, I said, bro, I said, remember this. Anything that you value that was beneficial for you, you had to put in work. You had to put in a lot of energy in order to get out of it what you wanted. So it ain't no instant anything. You know, yeah, we got Instagram, we got TikTok, but you know, but you got to keep posting on that thing. You know, you got to hope your content is something that people are even interested in order for them to click on it and view it and want to hear what you're saying or whatever it is. They got to fall in love with the personality type situation, you know. So like, it's all these different dynamics. And it's like, and it's understanding that to get to where you trying to be at. And I think that there's a huge misconception on when we talk about the wealth of the health, the finances, the relationships, you know, and that dynamic of the whole all encompassing. Because even that relationship is a relationship thing with online. It's relationship online. Like we online right now. Our relationship with our viewers and people that come and rock with us and everything, they not gonna be pulling up if it's just like, man, these dudes don't be talking about nothing. It, you know what I'm saying? Like it, like nothing that they saying even be making sense. They be sitting up here sounding stupid, or they be sitting up here sounding. somebody gotta agree with something. You ain't gonna like everything somebody say. Nobody likes everything that everybody say. That's just a fact. You're like, it's nobody that you're gonna like everything that they say. You know, you got a relationship, you might have a relationship with your wife and you don't like everything that they say. You got to work that stuff out. On the internet, you just, you know, all right, nah, I'm gonna leave that alone. In real life, yeah, you know, wife, you say something, you like, or you say something, she like, you know, y'all gotta work that out. That's a workout situation. You know, you're gonna get past that. But online, it's just like, okay, that wasn't for me. And you keep it going. I think we miss these things when it comes to wealth, to figuring out what wealth, even the philosophical wealth or the material, physical things of wealth. I think we missing this because so many people are addicted to drama and trauma and foolishness and ignorance, nignorance, our word that we coin here on Cigar Sundays Live, nignorance. You know, I think that it's just so many folks addicted to that. So if it ain't that, then it's just like they don't want to feed off of it. They don't want to enjoy it because it's, you know, it doesn't feed.
It's lame.
It's lame, right? It doesn't feed the negative, non-progress. Stay where I'm at and complain. Stay where I'm at and complain. Stay where I'm at and complain about everybody else and hate on the people who are doing better for themselves. Hate on the people who wake up and say, I got a peace, prosperity, positivity. We got a day, a new day, a new sunrise to be the best versions of ourselves. That's hate. That get hated on.
You talking down.
Because what's better? Now, if I went from a bucket yesterday to a Benz today, isn't that better? But it could look better on the outside, right? But if I went from that bucket that I had paid off, that I could get in and drive from A to B to C to Z, A to Z, all right. But then I went and bought that Benz, and now I got a new note, I got new insurance, and now the maintenance I can't afford it for real, without it compromising this, that, and the third. But I look good as a mug though when I'm whipping it. You know what I'm saying? People checking me out when I'm whipping it though, right? I feel good. You know, but then I feel bad when I check my bank account and I'm like, damn, I got to do this and damn, I got to do that. But while I had the bucket though, everything was lovely. I go crank it up and we ride, you know what I'm saying? And then I go wherever I want to go and I just swipe and I just buy and I just get what I want and I'm just living like, man, we ain't even tripping. And we walk right back to the bucket and hop in and pull off and it ain't nothing. Next to the person in the Tesla or the Lambo truck or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they came out the same store I came out of.
My AC works same way their AC works.
My AC working and everything. I'm blowing cold AC. You know, my AC colder than a polar bear toenail, baby. You know, so I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if people. I don't know. I think it's a lot of misconceptions about wealth. Yeah, I really do. I think it's a lot of misconceptions about wealth, and I don't think we have enough time in the show to discuss the misconceptions about wealth for real.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, I think that people just are not focused enough on what they need to do to maintain the things that we talk about here a lot is the self-sustain, the food, clothing, and shelter, the necessities, you know, and prioritizing that as being the wealth first. You know, the food, clothing, and shelter being the necessity of wealth first. You know, and how you structure that, and then all of those other things become just, you know, like, if I want it,
I can go get it.
yeah, like if
And
I
then,
want it.
and then I wouldn't be what I had. It would be what I have, because when you have abundance, you have those things.
You have it, right?
You didn't had it.
You didn't have it, yeah. Yeah, and it's and being fair, I think it takes everybody a process, every human a process to get there.
Yeah.
You know, to get there. But I hope y'all rocking with us, that something that we say help you get there faster. I hope that you know, I hope that what we're sharing, you know, helps you get there faster, because you know that's how we living, for real. Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, we prioritizing the priorities, the real, the necessity priorities. And it's not just because, well, it is mainly because we have been through struggle, like real struggle. You know, we've been through real struggle. So it's not like we not Silver Spoon, we not Ricky Schroeder. My name ain't Ricky. The guy Ali's name is not Ricky. Never was.
I never have a train in my house.
Never had a train in my house. You know. So, you know, so real talk, like, you know, so like it's been trial and error. It's been learning from your lessons that you've had, that, you know, it's been falling and busting your chin up, you know, and bruising your eye up, and busting and bloody noses, and busting your lip up, you know,
and getting back up.
And getting back up, you know, strawberries on your knee, and on your shin, and, you know, for real, and your elbow, and your, you know, it's been those things that have allowed.
Yo, they talk about pain, so them strawberries sit on your knees.
Yeah, bro. You know. You know.
You get in the shower after that joint.
Man, that's just sting like a
I just had a whole flashback just now.
Yeah, I ain't mean to traumatize now, but you know, when it's real like that. You know, because a lot of people see you where you at, and they don't understand, because they just see you where you at, and we live in a culture now where people like, oh, you this and you that, and no, you got this, and no, you got that, but they don't know what you went through to get it. They don't know that, like, you know, like, they don't even realize. They just negate the complexion too. They be like, oh, you think you this or you think, and it's like,
ain't that crazy?
Do you know where we can? Do you not have a child? Did you not go through February? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what it took for me to do all this to get to where I'm at?
And that's even before me.
That was before me.
Like, that's not even me. Like,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, do you and you want to hate on me? And you want to hate on me? When guess what? I promised them people who you think you look like, who you think rocking with you, don't like your ass neither, for real. I promise you that. And you want to hate on me because I've been bootstrapping, and you came. Man, I ain't gonna do it to him.
No, I haven't to.
I ain't gonna do it to him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what? And like, you ain't even had, like, come on, you ain't had, your mama ain't never went to the back door. You know what I'm saying? Your mama, your granddaddy ain't never sat in the back of the bus, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't never had none of that done to none of your folks at all.
Yo, son, and like, and it was crazy. So because cats watch TV, they can be like, yeah, but that happened so long ago. Nah, the V is still alive.
Hell yeah, my mama's still alive. And she'll tell you that she said that she went. God, this the story. They was coming up from Carolina. They was going up north somewhere. She wanted to go to the bathroom. My granddad kept saying, you can't go to the bathroom yet. I'm gonna wait so we could pull somewhere where you can go to the bathroom. You gotta wait. She like, I'ma go. I gotta go. I gotta go. So granddad say, all right. All right, you know what I'm saying? You know, he empowering his women. He empowering his daughter. He's saying, I know I ain't gonna let nobody kill you. Cause I be damned if somebody kill you, you know what I'm saying? Like if I gotta die, right? But I'm trying to shelter you from what is going on in this world and what's around you, but I'm gonna show you because I believe you grown enough to understand it and handle it. All right. So they pull up to the place. They walk up. Now the V said, they said, y'all can't come in here. Y'all gotta go around to the back. Straight like that. Imagine being a father having to go through that with your child.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like,
come on, God.
And it's a whole experience that folks are missing that they are benefiting from. That people are still alive, remember. My grandmother just transitioned. 96 years old, right? Like that's a lot of living here in the hills of North America. That's a lot of surviving and thriving, right? That's a lot of changes that she and my grandfather and her mother and her man. I knew my great grandmother. Like she transitioned at 99. Like that's a lot of years of remembering
the bullshit, right?
Right? Like that's a lot, God. Like to then be told, yeah, we did it. So what? We ain't gonna do nothing about it. And to have other people that look like me and you from other places laugh at us talking about like, yeah, told you so.
Mad at you for your success. Mad at you for your success. Hating on you because you won't settle for less. Other black folks too. Hating on you because you like, nah, don't call me no ninja. Don't address me like that. I ain't your ninja. Put some respect on my name. You like being a ninja. You want to be that. You want to be a low vibrational, low frequency, have not blame everything for the system, blame everything for this, blame everything for that. Look like you got it, but don't have it for real. You want to be that.
Maintaining plantation thinking ass.
Maintaining plantation thinking ass. You want to be that. I ain't gonna be that. And I'm willing to die about it. Protecting mine, protecting what I have built, protecting what I have invested myself and my time into. So no, like, nah, God. You know, so like it's huge misconceptions about wealth. Huge misconceptions about wealth. You know, people don't even have their own, they don't have They don't have their relationship wealth together. They don't have their financial wealth together. You know, they don't have their health together. They don't have a peace of mind together. You know, it's all about trying to worry about what somebody else doing or what somebody else got going on instead of trying to pick their brain and seeing how you can add things that they have done. But a lot of times people don't see the stuff. You know, they want to see the material thing. But when you get to a point where you just like, man, I don't gotta show no more shit. I ain't gotta pop it like that.
At all.
I don't gotta pop it like that. I don't gotta be loud. I ain't gotta ride around with music loud no more and windows rolled down and all that. Like, I don't need attention. I ain't looking for no attention. I'm looking for money. And money, and I'm looking for quiet money. The money that lasts long, the money that go long. So we not alike. That's why we not gonna be friends. That's why we not gonna build, because we not alike. Because my vision is different. I don't enjoy the same things. I'm about wealth. You about show. A little bit of money. Moving on to our fourth question. How and what can younger generations learn from older generations about wealth? How and what can younger generations learn from older generations about wealth?
Firstly, the younger generation can learn what wealth ain't.
What wealth ain't, right? Cheers to that.
All right. And secondly, and probably the biggest thing is they can learn the importance of living within your means.
The importance of living within your means.
Right. Whether their example is doing that or not, the lesson of the importance of living within your means is still present. Right. So I think that's like the biggest thing, because really and truly, God, like if you live within your means, like you can start becoming wealthy at any financial, like whatever job you have. Like if you just if all you really need,
yeah,
is for your job to sustain your life, right? That's pay your bills, right? And as long as your bills are your standard bills, like your housing, your lights, your utilities, your cell phone, your vehicle, your gas, registration, insurance, and groceries, like those are the bare necessities. Like those are, and clothes, right? Like those are the,
clothes.
I just like
like clothes, like, yeah, I like to be fresh, but like you see me with this, you see me rocking this joint like constantly, so it's just like, how many of these do I need? This the same one. It's not a new one. It's the same one.
It's not a third one, God.
No, God. It's the same one. It's the same one every time. I use we wash it.
Yeah, we got washing machine.
I got wash and dry at the crib, and it ain't digital. It's the belt driven, so I can change it myself if I needed to in a jam. And I got a couple of belts in the go rod. You know what I'm saying? Stashed away if I needed to change it myself. I need a YouTube video because I ain't never changed it, but I would need a YouTube video first. But we would go change it and it'd be back up and running. Unless I need to call somebody to come in there and do something. But we got a warranty too. We got a little warranty on them things, God. But yes.
Nah, I got like you know, if you work at, if you change tires, you do brakes, like you don't have to make a certain amount of money. Like you really just gotta be able to afford yourself, right? And if you require more, that just means that you require like to generate more money.
That's it.
Right? And generate more money. Now you are within your means. But like if you can't generate the money that you need and you outside and now you robbing people to pay Paul, or you borrowing money from somebody and are you taking payday loans, you doing this, you doing that, just trying to maintain the look, right? Like that's outside of your means. Right. So that's like, you know, my number two might be my number one, which is, the younger folks can learn to live within their means, because that is so huge. Like it takes a whole weight off your shoulders when you want to do any transition, when you want to move from city to city or state to state, or you want to take a new job, you want to, go outside the country, whatever you want to do. If you don't have too much baggage and all you have is just regular stuff where you can just pick up from one spot and go to the next spot, and you got the same bills, roof over your head, utilities, your vehicle, your food, your clothes, like that's super simple. Like that makes all your transitions easier, right? But if you got a whole bunch of credit cards, if you got a whole bunch of loans from debt consolidations from credit cards you tried to pay off that you never closed off, so now you're paying loans for those, and you got all this extra weight. When you that transition is a whole lot heavier and a whole lot harder, right? Because you unless you come up and now whatever your new thing is covering all your everything else, like you just gotta, it's just harder, right? So you gotta live within your means. Like that's I think the number one thing that the young folks can learn from the older generations is don't make your eyes bigger than your stomach.
Don't make your eyes bigger than your stomach. Huh? Oh man, live within your means. I love that. It's a lot of old folks that ain't living within their means though, right?
That's why I said whether they doing it or not doing it.
It's a lot of old folks that just like, you only get one life.
YOLO, right?
Bankruptcy is the thing that you can file, right? But definitely, when it comes to wealth, we answering the question right now, y'all. How and what can younger generations learn from older generations about wealth? The big thing that I think that they can learn is the things of where to invest. One of these things about investing is that we have a lot of so to be fair, right? Like we have a lot of focus on entertainment people. Unfortunately in our community, we have a lot of focus on entertainment people. So when we see things like Nas, they say Nas made money in rap, but he made a lot of money in his investments. We see Dr. Dre, he made a lot of money in rap, but he made a lot of money in investments. When we see 50 Cent, he made a lot of money in rap, but he made vitamin water and films and all that other stuff. I think that's the things that we see that there should be some focus put on. There should be some focus put on these things that we see where people are doing stuff outside of what is their primary source of income, where yes, you make some money in this area, but you take your money and you invest it in other things. And that's what I think, because nobody is looking at, when we say the younger generation, nobody's looking at like there's more young people that want to be rappers than want to be astronauts. They want to be what was the brother name? Vincent, uh the brother that just went to space. It's more people that want to be
What's his name?
Vincent. I want to say his name was Vincent something. But it's more people that want to be the next Jay-Z or the next Gucci man or the next CEO of this company or that. Then they want to be that.
Victor Glover.
Victor. What I say? Vincent, Vic, Vince. I had a V on it. Vinny, Victor, but Victor Glover, shout out to Victor, Glover. Salute to him. And but we have more people that desire, coming from the African American community concept, okay, the Black culture concept, that want to be these rappers and want to be in that life versus wanting to be a Victor Glover, wanting to be a Dr. Ben Carson, wanting to be a Dr. Claude Anderson, with a brother that had a significant governmental history, or a Clarence Thomas, or a what was the brother, Thurgood Marshall before Clarence Thomas, right? So, or any of our sisters that we see doing positive things. Like, it's okay to want to be a Cardi B or a Nicki Minaj or a Meg Thee Stallion or whatever, but we have other Black women doing things. You can be it's a pilot. I don't know their names, but we have Black women making history today. I know Zeta Merchant, the first Black female admiral of the Coast Guard ever. Okay, ever. That just happened this decade. That just happened like 2024. Ever in 200 years of the whole Coast Guard. Okay. We seen Black pilots, Black female pilots in the Coast Guard, in the United States Armed Services.
200 years. It's crazy.
In ever. This has just been happening like since 2010 and and on. So we making history in other areas. We doing things. It's just not being promoted. Like the rap or the Hollywood thing, or the context of the entertainment stuff. It ain't being promoted like that. So that's where I think that we can gain the most in knowledge of wealth, and a knowledge of wealth, because we saw one of the definitions where the knowledge was a component of wealth. Yeah. It's just like actually looking to see where can we excel at beyond sports, beyond singing and dancing. That's what we could learn, that like it's other areas that of Black excellence that we can invade, and take over. Shit, I ain't gonna say just be a piece of it. Take over, go in there and be the best version.
You take over everything, you'll be the best Christians, the best Muslims, the best right?
Go in there and just and stun on them. You know what I'm saying? So if we gonna be the best if we gonna be rocket scientists, like go in there and be like the young brother who took the plastics and now he taking the plastics and got a whole,
it's called plastiline or something like that, right?
Plastiline or something. I can't think of the brother name, but but I mean, like he doing that thing and he like got a whole turn plastic in the fuel, like do that. Be that. Be, you know, want to be the best innovator, the best creator, the best, you know, do that. Like that's what I'm thinking. And we could see from where the older generation has done things to be inspired. And we can also learn from other people's mistakes and say, okay, well, we seen some people make some bad choices. I don't want to make that bad choice. You know, drop that whole narrative of I wish somebody would. I wish some Zozo would, right? Instead of I'm not gonna give a person a reason. And let's say, nah, they wasn't quick enough to stick their hand in the fire. I'm quick enough to stick my hand in the fire. Drop that too. You gotta drop that mindset. Like, they did this and they. Let me tell you something. If you think about crime, any crime you think about doing, you're gonna get caught. And the reason why is because now, in this new modern age that we have cameras everywhere. Okay. And also, snitching is not corny no more. That's just it. Snitch is not corny no more. I remind everybody, 6ix9ine told, Gunna told, Thug told,
everybody told,
Big Meech told, you know, everybody told. Everybody told. Rayful Edmonds told. Who else we want to go to? Frank Lucas told. You know what I'm saying? Everybody told. Gucci Man just told. Okay. So no matter who you think is super street or super whatever, you know what I'm saying? As there will be a reason for somebody to comply. Whether it's to save their life, whether it's because they was a victim, whether it's because whatever the logic or rationale reason is, like, I don't even care no more. You know, don't do crime. It's simple as that. Don't put yourself in a situation. And you don't have to worry about whether you got to be a tattletale or a rat or labeled this or whatever. Don't put yourself in that situation. It's that simple. Think first. Is this something that's going to cause me to be in a situation that I'm going to regret later? Damn. That just takes a couple seconds of pause.
The young brother name with Plastiline is Julian Brown.
Julian Brown. Shout out to Julian Brown. We want to put some respect on your name, brother. You know, because we see you doing major things. And, you know, keep doing what you're doing, family. So, how and what can younger generations learn from older generations about wealth? You know, that's my take on it. You know, y'all let us know what y'all think in the live chat or in the comment sections below, depending on when you're watching the show. And right about now, it's that time for the flavor bombs. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into that and take a break from the action.
Flavor Bombs, presented to you by DBCHEFTV.
So we got the White House. What they had some type of dinner, and I knew what it was earlier, but right now it's just skipped my head. Just skipped my brain. It was a White House something dinner, y'all, and you know, it was a shooting suspect. He was charging in the Trump administration. And you know, it was a bad move. It was a bad look for dude. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and check that out. And then we got Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. They broke up. You know, I was kind of rooting for them. And then we got a third story tonight. Black comedy royalty brings families together. You know, so we're gonna start off with some foolishness. Then we're gonna move to some delusionalness. And then we gonna end it with some black love.
Hey.
Yeah, Margaret, multiple sources tell CBS News that the gunman told law enforcement he was targeting Trump administration officials. Sources now say that Allen's brother had also alerted local police of alleged alarming writings that he shared with the family prior to the incident.
Okay, so is that snitching? Is that snitching, God?
Yeah.
That's snitching because he told on his brother, but you wouldn't tell him your brother?
Well, nah. I wouldn't tell him my brother.
He said you wouldn't tell him.
So to be fair, to answer the question honestly, no, it's not snitching, because they wasn't in on it together.
Okay, no doubt.
Right. So they wasn't committing a crime together. So he was just being a witness. But in my heart, I wouldn't snitch on my brother.
No, so what would you do though? Like if your brother told you, like, man, I'm about to go up there and I'm about to, like, if he told you he's like, bro, I'm about to go up here and I'm about to do this and I'm about to do this.
If you tell me and I tell, I'm a snitch, right? Because if you tell me, I'm an accomplice almost, right? So
you ain't go. You was just at the crib. you was just at the crib, like, man, like, damn, I hope he don't die. You know, because this is not a wise choice. So I'm gonna tear his ass up.
No, I don't know, but I don't think it's snitching in the sense of how people understand snitching, right? Because they're not doing a crime together. However, like, you know, for me, like, you gotta be a monster, bro. Like, to be honest, like, you gotta touch a baby or take something by force. You know what I mean? Like,
I get that. I get what your level of
you know
of consideration is for, because it is hard when you're not gonna get no reparations to feel like, you know what I'm saying? like I get it, God.
I've been pulling myself up by my own bootstrap this whole time. So I'm saying, like, if you telling me I gotta repair myself, then I gotta catch my wins when I catch my wins. And if you ain't catch my mans, then you ain't catch my mans.
I know it's hard to kind of, it's hard to have compassion for some people that don't have compassion for you.
Ain't
you
it
know?
Though? Ain't it though?
Yeah, it is.
Ain't it though? Like, man, like,
it is. It's difficult. It's a challenge because you want to be on the side of right, you know, morally.
Yeah.
You know, but then you also feel like, you know, you want to be like, man, is it this or is it that? You know, like, is it, you know, and you don't want them to, you know, you don't want them to crash, but it's just like, if they crash and they successful, it's like, what happens? What is the outcome? What really happens?
They can't celebrate with you.
Yeah, like,
they just gotta win.
It's just like, is it, you know, they made it like this. It's messed up, but we're gonna go ahead and get into the rest of the show.
CCTV video reveals the moment the 31-year-old suspect sprinted past a security checkpoint, charging toward the ballroom where President Trump, cabinet officials, and roughly 2,500 guests were assembled.
It is clear, based upon what we know so far, that this individual was intent on doing as much harm and as much damage as he could.
Cole Allen, a teacher from Southern California, opened fire at a uniformed division officer of the U.S. Secret Service before agents tackled him to the ground, handcuffing him.
He was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. As he ran through that checkpoint, members of law enforcement from the United States Secret Service intercepted that individual.
Where's it coming from?
Shouts of "watch for crossfire" as Secret Service personnel and D.C. police rushed to the scene. Agents from inside the ballroom and medics from outside the.
And they was on his ass. I don't know what the flip made him think that was cool, that he was gonna run up in there and do anything. That's wild.
Hotel. Investigators are now combing through a hotel room at the Washington Hilton. Authorities have also begun searching his California residence.
The public should also rest assured that there will be no stone unturned during this investigation.
According to his LinkedIn profile, the suspect worked for a tutoring and test prep company and was awarded Teacher of the Month back in 2024. He'd finished a master's in computer science last year. He's now facing 2 felony charges, including assault on a federal officer. White House officials tell our CBS News' Jennifer Jacobs that authorities have found anti-Trump and anti-Christian rhetoric on the suspect's social media accounts. We're also told by law enforcement sources both of his firearms were purchased legally in California. As for the defendant, Margaret, he'll appear in federal court tomorrow.
What's your thoughts on that, God?
So there was no shots fired?
He popped one of the security guards in their vest.
So there was shots fired?
He shot one of the Secret Service officers in a vest. When he ran through, I think that was when he ran through, he just popped them, kind of running up in there.
And he's still alive?
Well, this is what I thought. I thought that, like, you know, cause see now we going there, right?
Yeah,
right, right. Because we wasn't on the watch, okay? Me and you was not on the watch.
He's still alive?
because if we was on watch, he woun't have made it. He wouldn't have made it.
So but I asked that question because, like, when they show when he ran past or whatever, and Buddy drew down, and I was like, all right. But then when they panned into the ballroom or whatever, everybody like they were just sitting in their seats, regular. Except then you had people rushing the stage, and those people were sitting in their seats waiting to get touched, talking about okay, it's okay to move. And all that just seemed like TV to me.
It seemed staged, right? See, and that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem with everything that happens now. Because so much stuff seems so not real, it seems staged. And that's the problem, you know. But what I honestly think is that we saw him laid out. They stripped him down right there in front of everybody, put the little aluminum blanket on him.
He didn't even get the beats, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but they did. They said he's in the hospital. So I think they did put the beat. I think they put I think that happened. I think he got the beats. You know, especially you shot one of us. You shot a Secret Service.
Come on, son. Like that's what I'm saying.
Because he was laying down on that. He was laying down face down, like he was hurt, like he couldn't move. You know, like he was too hard. Yeah, he wasn't laying down like yeah, they get ready to take me. He was laying down like his ass was whooped. And they had that little blanket, and he was stripped naked, and they had the little, you know, the little the whatchamacallit, man, what you call it? Dang, man. I know the word. The what's it called when you go in the water, God? The thermo.
Oh yeah.
When you go in the water, when you go in the water, nah, you know when you go in the water and you suffer from what was hypothermia? That he had the hypothermia thing on him. He had the
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he had a little hypothermia blanket on him. Yeah.
Well, that floor was probably cold.
Yeah, he had the hypothermia blanket on him. So, you know, so like they had already stripped him down naked. That's how they found all the, you know, like they just completely stripped you naked. Like if you had the gall to run up in here, then we're gonna strip you down naked. We're gonna lay you right here. We're gonna and then we're gonna lay you down because you shot somebody, and then we're gonna evacuate everybody, and we're gonna let them walk out and see you laying right there first before we pick you up and haul you off to the federal prison where you're about to spend the rest of your next duration.
What I just got finished watching. So you know how we say local state police should be scrutinized to the same level of the U.S. military as far as our rules of engagement and stuff like that. Looking at that, since the military is too hard for people, they should follow the Secret Service, right? Because they actually shot at Congress people and shot a Secret Service person, and that person is still alive. Right? Look how many brothers died from the police. Right? Like, I'm just saying, God, like clearly a traffic stop, right? It can't be with somebody who's unarmed. Right, can't be more scarier than somebody who's actually fought. They say he had a shotgun.
He ran up in it with a shotgun.
They say he had a shotgun, a pistol, and some knives.
And
he got two hands. Right? What he's going to do?
Look, let me tell you something. He's so lucky to be alive right now. He is lucky he going to jail. It was a White House Correspondents' Dinner. That's what the WHCD stand for, y'all. My bad. It popped back. You helped me remind me. Because it was a Correspondents' Dinner, they ain't blaze them up. And they had Crossfire. You know, they was talking about, you seen them talking about the Crossfire. So that was the thing. See the difference between us being on watch and them being on watch? Is you probably say, "Look out, Pearl."
That was gonna be another thing that I was gonna bring up. Now, what you mean? Like, watch out for the crossfire. Where's it coming from? Like, what kind of
and I'd have been like, "Ali, move!"
like, what kind of communications are they doing? Like, you don't know where the man is at. Like, y'all just out here just walking around and no communication. Like, east side secure, left side secure. Like none of that. Like we just. Where did it come from?
That's why I'm retired and you on your way out the door.
I don't like the way they fight, God. I don't like the way they fight, God. Like,
because I'm telling you, he wouldn't have made it.
But he would be dead.
He wouldn't have made it. He wouldn't have made it. You know, but I mean, nobody got hurt other than the officer who
with the vest,
with the vest, and he hit the vest. So you know. That was cool. There ain't too much going on. He hit the vest, and you know, then they had him stretched out. But he's going to jail for a long time. You know, he's going to prison for a long time.
Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson are going their separate ways. On April 25th, the rapper takes her Instagram stories to call out the NBA player for his alleged infidelity. The message reads, "Cheating had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet. Holding you down through all of your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. I need a real break after this one."
Oh, so check this out though. I'm gonna run this back right here. I want to read this a little bit.
I was gonna tell you to bring that joint back.
I'm gonna bring this back though, right here. So you know, so cheating had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, holding it down while you go through all your horrible mood springs and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. And then she calls herself a bitch. And she says she needs a real break after this one. Now, God, the problem I have with this is we're going to get to her calling herself a bitch, all right, a bezile. Okay, and that's maybe why it turned out like some bezile type situation. Okay, but we'll get to that. But holding you down through all your horrible mood
Get out of my
swings.
head, God. Get out of my head.
Holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and
What?
treatment towards me. So it's like, if he wasn't cheating, then the mood swings and horrible treatment was okay.
It was okay.
Is that what you saying, boo?
That's what's in capital, right? Because they was hard. They was so horrible.
It was horrible that you ain't want to leave. That the mood swings ain't make you want to leave, and the treatment towards you, the horrible mood swings and the horrible treatment towards you during the basketball season didn't make you want to leave, but the fact that he couldn't dip his pudding pop only in your pudding made you say bye.
And look at that, like the way she wrote it, like she was such an angel, and I was holding you down through all your horrible mood swings. Like clearly you wasn't, right? Because like you thought they was horrible mood swings. You didn't think your man was sick or it needed you to.
So you never suggested.
You was keeping a tally,
right?
I'm gonna write this down. Like because you. Yeah, you ain't Mr. Perfect. Yeah, you Mr. Man, get out of here with that shit.
So she never wanted counseling.
Nope.
She never suggested therapy.
Nope.
Right? She just and the treatment towards her was so horrible that you didn't want to leave. But then as soon as he went and got a new box, soon as he went and got some new gush, then you was ready to push. Because that's when you knew it was over. But you didn't know it was over through the mood swings and the bad treatment, though.
Because you ain't like that. You was perfectly fine with it.
And now it's his fault?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know nothing about these people. I'm just reading this.
Like... I'm saying, God, like I was rooting for them. I was rooting for them because, Klay Thompson, Golden State Warrior, one of the best shooters ever to play the game, to pick up a basketball, Meg Thee Stallion, a little hood booger, got herself together, made some hits, hip hop star, whatever. All right, cool. We loving it. We seeing some black folks come together and, possibly bringing that NBA money and that hip hop entertainment money together. And maybe they're going to have a little,
I see what you're saying.
Because I ain't no hater. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to see black families do good things, and I love to see black people thriving,
Yeah.
And I know regardless they wear that skin, So like I'm gonna say that you gonna hear me say that again in this next story that we got, this next flavor bomb that we got. I understand that. So I was still rooting for them because I understand how it is, because we ain't getting no reparations. So if they was doing some things that was gonna repair themselves from their bootstrapping, and then I want to see them keep on winning. But this delusional stuff right here, though, we got to talk about it.
Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. I need a real break after this one. The rapper also tells E! News in an April 25th statement, I've made the decision to end my relationship with Clay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship. And when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward. She continues, I'm taking this time to prioritize myself and move ahead with peace and clarity. E! News has reached out to a rep for Clay for comment, but hasn't yet heard back. Megan and Clay first sparked romance rumors in July 2025, when he was seen making subtle appearances on the rapper's IG. Then, just weeks later, the pair made their relationship red carpet official when they attended Meg's inaugural Pete and Thomas Foundation Gala in New York City.
Look, so they ain't even last a year. I ain't laughing at it, but you know, like not that it didn't last a year. But what I'm saying is, it's like that was 2025. Like this ain't even the end of 26. We only halfway through 26. We ain't even halfway through 26 yet, and that's over already. But
That's crazy.
you know, but the biggest thing is this. She said that she was ending her relationship with Clay because of blah 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 blah. I'm not the smartest person on the planet. Okay. there are a bunch of people that are way more intellectually inclined than myself. All right. But when he cheated, Meg, you were done already. So I don't care what you saying that you you was already done, Meg. Okay.
You might want to start cooking and cleaning.
Right. so like you was already done. So like you because I see it's funny how like we see these narratives where like she's saying she's separating and she's cutting it off and blah, but you're saying he already did something. So when he did that, he was done with you already.
Oh, back then.
Back then, when it happened.
Yeah.
So what that means? So now now you don't want to accept it no more, and you're not willing to continue the relationship with that type of with him having his way. So now you're breaking it off when he already said, I don't care how you feel about it. I'm gonna do what I want to do, regardless of how you feel about it or not. So he been broke up with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just for everybody out there who, all the women out there who be delusional, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know, the truth always hurts more than a lie. I know. You know, that's just life, but you know, we'll get over it.
Martin Lawrence is over the moon to be a grandpa. Shortly after, Eddie Murphy confirmed to E! News at the AFI Life Achievement Awards that his son Eric Murphy and Martin's daughter Jasmine Lawrence welcomed their first baby together. The Bad Boy star shared his overjoyed reaction during a recent tour stop. In a video shared by fellow comedian Lonnie Love, Martin
How dope is that?
That's dope.
How dope is that?
That's dope. That's dope.
How dope is that? Martin's daughter and Eddie Murphy's son, man.
That's dope. Nah, that's fire. Sir.
tells the crowd, I'm a grandpa. Me and Eddie Murphy share a grandchild. That baby is going to be funny as Jasmine and Eric announced they were expanding their family 8 months after tying the knot in a private wedding ceremony. Alongside a black and white photo of Eric cradling Jasmine's baby bump, they wrote under the February 2nd post, "Thank you, Jesus, for the greatest gift." And following the pregnancy news, Martin, dad to 3 daughters, couldn't contain his excitement with being promoted to granddad status. He wrote in part on Instagram, "What a blessing to start the day. My heart is overflowing with love and gratitude after the announcement of my first grandchild." Then on April 18th, Eddie revealed the two welcomed their child, a baby girl named Ari Sky. Congratulations to the couple.
Yeah, congratulations.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
That's fire.
You know, we had to end it on something dope, you know, black comedy legends, you know.
Man, like that's huge, bro. You know what? That's on such, you know, we always get the, you know, who's the funniest, who's the greatest, right? We always want to put people against each other, right? And make beefs between our greats. But why can't they be family?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Why can't they be? Why they gotta be beef? Right? Why can't it just be our greatest? Oh man, that was fun.
That's dope, right? Yeah. Blessings and love to the Eddie Murphy household and the Martin Lawrence household and their daughter is Marty Mar's daughter. You know what I'm saying? That Martin, you a little Bama. You know what I'm saying? He know that that's just some love talk. And Eddie Murphy family, man, you know, your son and man, for real, like that's beautiful. We love to see it. That's wealth. We see that wealth of bringing that family together, you know, of those families coming together and whatever the future can bring from that, you know, that bridges, you know, that wealth, all that work that Eddie has put in and that wealth that he's building, all that bootstrapping he done pulled up.
Oh man.
Right? All that bootstrapping Martin done did, you know.
Oh man.
For real. So now there is a golden child.
What?
There's a golden child. You know, like for real. There's like now that's gonna merge all that together, those empires, that wealth, you know. And I just think that that's a beautiful thing, something we should celebrate.
Definitely, God. That was good. I'm glad you shared that.
You know. Definitely, but that's all we got for the Flavor Bomb.
You've just been Flavor Bomb, and now back to our show.
Yep. So if you just joining us, y'all, we are smoking on wealth tonight, and we've been going through our questions, and we are at our fifth and final question. Is the word wealth bad, good, or misunderstood? And before we get to that, we want everybody to make sure y'all been rocking with us. Smash that like button, share the content, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification game, hit the notification bell. So so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays live. And we got merch, y'all. We got literature, everything, all of the descriptions, all of the links are in the description, y'all. So, you know, we appreciate if you can support. We love you for that. And like we always say, if money's tight, it's all right. You can do something free and just smash that like button. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our last question. Once again, is the word wealth bad, good, or misunderstood? And we're going to go to the God, Ali Dawoodel at BK Soul Farm.
The word wealth is good. However, it is misunderstood as well. And I would also say that the definition allows for it to be misunderstood in that there's no set standard or formula to identify to a person exactly when wealth begins or when they can start feeling like they have obtained wealth, right? Words like abundance and having more and like that. While it's clear to me, I can see in everyday society that it is not clear, and people, you know, always want more than they actually can provide for. Right, so I think it's definitely a good word, but it's greatly misunderstood.
Yeah, I'm rocking with you, God. I think wealth is definitely good. You know, having an abundance of resources is good on any continent, any planet, any tax bracket, any you know, any economic situation. You know, like that is what we thrive for, is having an abundance of resources. You know, I wouldn't even limit it to just money, limited to, you know, food or shelter, clothing, you know, just having an abundance of resources, good people, good energy, you know, good everything, you know, just an abundance of it though, you know, consistency. It just makes you feel good. It makes you're more enthused about your endeavors. And And definitely I think it's good. And like we always say, you know, like a lot of stuff is so misunderstood because I mean, come on, God, unless we had it somewhat misunderstood before we had the show, you know. So like that's just being fair. Like that's why we say we ain't the gurus, you know, we learning this stuff and trying to apply it and trying to be better versions of ourselves. And this is a part of it. You know, this is a part of that process of re-educating ourselves from things that we may have learned that we may have not applied. You know, we may have not used these tools as efficiently or effectively as we could, you know, because we've been so busy bootstrapping. We haven't had the time to just go and look at what the wealth is, or look at what the self-determination is, or look at what the American dream is, or look at what judgmental is, or truth, or any of the words that we have covered, y'all, throughout many episodes. You know, it we have to go back sometimes, and this is why self-reflection is so important. This is why I think self-reflection is a part of wealth as well. And this is why it's so important to do that, to take the you time, you know, to be able to say, I need to, you know, I want to work on myself, but I need to figure out where I need to work on myself at. It's okay to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I don't like what I see, but I could change it. You know, and then how do I change it? I gotta do the work. I gotta make a plan. I gotta be honest with myself, and I gotta say, I don't like the way I'm doing this. I don't like this and that and the third. You know, so I always say I welcome anybody who gonna check me and let me know something. But it gotta be straight up. It gotta be, you know. But I also don't have a problem with checking myself. So even if you checking me and I'm like, you know what, I'm not quick to be like, who you think you is to check me. I'm quick to be like, damn, do I deserve this checking? I ain't on the how. I'm on the what and why. What's being said and why is this being said? Do I need to be self-reflecting? Do I need to be self-evaluating? Is my wealth together? Do you know? Is this person who's saying this to me? Have they ever showed me any other thing other than they love me? Have they showed me anything that would say that they will hurt me? If they haven't done that, then I need to check myself and make sure that before I pass a negative judgment on what they saying to me, that I've clearly evaluated every single time before we've interacted. Have they always tried to been helpful? Have they always tried to help me improve the quality of my life? Have they always cared about me? And if they've done that, then I owe it to them to listen and check myself, do a self-reflection, because it's wealth in that relationship. Because that person don't mean me no harm. That person ain't never tried to harm me in their life. You know, so I think that is misunderstood because people don't do that. People don't, you know, we get a lot of constructive criticism, we get a lot of critique, we get a lot of different things, and there's too many versions of trying to compete with each other. There's too many versions of, you know, of what this idea is, and when we realize it's all material, you know. And what I say, and the reason I say that it's all material is because you can't take none of it with you when we go, you know. So I don't care how good of a person you are, how bad of a person is. Like when you leave here, you can't take it with you. If you a bad person, you're gonna leave that bad person here. If they a bad person, you're gonna leave that bad person here. If they a good person, they a loving person, whatever, you're gonna leave it all here. It's ain't none of it going with you. So we owe it to ourselves while we're here to give it the best effort that we can, and value that as wealth, you know, and like and allow that to be some sort of wealth to us, because wealth is still an abundance of resources. So that's all we got, guys. Unless you got something else on that, you know.
No, that's pretty much it.
But tonight, y'all, we have been smoking on wealth, and you know, we had our first question: what do you think of when you hear the word wealth? Is wealth purely financial, or does it include things like health, peace, and relationships? What are some common misconceptions about wealth? How and what can younger generations learn from older generations about wealth? And is the word wealth bad, good, or misunderstood? And we like to we always want to know what you think. So exchange your insights in the comment section below, y'all. Let us know any of the answers to these questions, your thoughts, your insights to these questions. If you know what, even let us know if there was a question that you wish we would have answered, that we would have asked, that we didn't, you know. Yeah, like, you know, like we open to that, y'all, because we can run it back. We can do whatever we want, you know. We can run it back, you know. We can run Wealth Part 2 back, you know. So with y'all questions, with all of y'all questions, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, we want to do all that, and we appreciate everybody for pulling up and everything and hanging out with us, hanging out in the chat, commenting and everything. Shout out to Bug, lovely ATV, said it's good, wealth is good.
All the time.
We rocking with it. Yes, indeed. And you know, we appreciate everybody for pulling up, hanging out with us. We want everybody to have a peaceful, positive, and productive rest of your week. You know, y'all, it's the end of May, y'all. Like, I mean, it's April, it's May. We in the 5th already. Like 2026 is just flowing, it's just blowing through, you know, because we are almost halfway through this year. But yeah, y'all, we appreciate everybody for pulling up. Once again, we're gonna run this real quick before we get up out of here. We got a winner tonight, Bubbling Brown, at Bubbling Brown. Make sure to claim your prize. We're gonna go ahead and run that before we get up out of here real quick. And all I want to say is you know, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I'm Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with the God Ali Dawoodell at BK Soul Farm. And we thank y'all for pulling up each and every Sunday right here, 8 p.m. East Coast time, Cigar Sundays Live. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. You are the key to your financial freedom, so unlock your inner wealth with financial fundamentals at Bows on the Table. Subscribe today and never miss a meal at Bows Podcast. Bows on the Table, now streaming on YouTube. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcasts, The Veteran Kettle.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at DBCHEFTV.com.